All right, well, turning to other news, a visitation for former mob boss VITO RIZZUTO is underway in Montreal. These pictures have just come in. People filing into an East End funeral home. A large crowd is expected. The 67-year-old died Monday of natural causes. Montreal police say officers are discreetly observing the visitation. RIZZUTO's funeral will be held tomorrow at a Catholic church in Montreal's Little Italy. Well, for more on the inner workings of a mob funeral and the future of the RIZZUTO crime family, we're joined now from Toronto by Antonio Nicasso. He's an expert on organized crime and the mafia, and he's written dozens of books on the subject. Antonio, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Nancy.
First off, Antonio, mafia funerals are known to be quite lavish. How do you think RIZZUTO's funeral will compare?
But I think it will be less lavish compared to the one of Vic Cotroni in the 80s with the band precede the casket. But there is no protocols regulating mafia funerals. It's a moment of mourning, and we all should respect the grief of family members. But the funerals often are used to measure the value of a person. It's not something that regulates only the mafia funerals, but the presence of people is directly proportional to the importance of the deceased and his family. So in the case of Mr. RIZZUTO, I think we should expect a lot of people, a lot of flower arrangements.
Antonio, the media will certainly be keeping a close eye on the funeral. Who else do you think will be watching?
For sure, the police will keep an eye. That's what they are doing because it's a great opportunity to update police intelligence reports. But usually there are people that won't attend the funeral, or rather they go to the visitation, and there are people that won't show up. And those people are the people who had secret dealings with RIZZUTO, and public always deny to know him or to frequent him.
When it comes to the visitation and the funeral, Antonio, what would you be most curious to know or see?
We all know that Montreal is the center of a mafia war. When Mr. RIZZUTO was in jail, the victims were only on one side. After his return, many people that challenged his turf died in a violent way. So it's really interesting to see who's showing up, what kind of a criminal organization attend the event to send a representative, just to see, to have a little bit of a clue of what's going on with the people on one side and people on the other side.
Kind of hints to maybe what's to come. Antonio, it seems VITO RIZZUTO really lived that mafia life glamorized by Hollywood movies. Did his death of natural causes, cancer is what we're hearing, did that surprise you?
Yes, surprised me. I was not aware of his health problem, but the mafia of VITO RIZZUTO was a mafia totally different than the one portrayed on TV. The mafia of VITO RIZZUTO was a mafia of relationships, relationship with the people in power. That's what make the mafia stronger. Relationship with the people that decide, the people who hold position of a power. That's what the mafia is all about. Violence is functional to power.
You know, going back to what you said, Antonio, that it would be curious to see who shows up to the visitation and funeral. What can we expect to see in terms of the power struggle?
But the death of VITO RIZZUTO leaves many questions unanswered. It is not known whether he had the opportunity and time to indicate his successor. If he did, we will witness other murders. Since his return to Canada, many of the men who were trying to take over his turf have died, as I said, in a violent way. If he have not indicated a possible successor, surely the interim will be managed by a group of elders. And unfortunately, violence will call for more violence. But to survive, the criminal organization led by RIZZUTO must renew its relationship with the politicians, financiers, businessmen, all those relationships severely exposed by the Charbonneau Commission.
Yeah, it is a really fascinating time. Antonio, I want to thank you so much for your insight.
My pleasure, Nancy.
That was Antonio Nicasso, an expert on organized crime and the mafia.